Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, the doo-dah day.
Hello and welcome to Last Man Standing. If you missed Stupid O'Clock tonight, I highly recommend that after this show's over, you go back and watch the replay because it got entertaining. I mean, seriously, it was fun and probably more fun than I should be allowed to have at my age. Oh no, that would exclude other fun things that I'm probably too old for, but I don't care. I'm going to do them anyway. Um, with us tonight, we got Joe Bachman, we got Aunt Donna, and we got Rich. And Lord only knows who else is going to show up because it's that kind of night, folks.
Well, I may or may not have added 5 more minutes to Carrie's stream.
Again?
For the second time.
I plead the fifth.
So all three of you left last night before I brought this up to Nick and Carl. For the collection, I'm thinking of just doing them all as things that go bump in the light. All my short story collections that are somewhat horror themed and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And just subtitling this one, Volume 1, Twisted Tales. And I want to talk to Carl about having a writer slumped at his desk with a desk lamp on that's casting a shadow. And then the shadow is the slumped writer with something winged on its shoulder, like it's whispering in his ear.
I think Carl can probably do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like it'd be a great cover.
Mm-hmm. And then the second volume, I want to title it The Fae That You Know in Your Neighborhood.
No.
These are the people you know in your neighborhood.
No. It's a wonderful fae in your neighborhood. Sorry, I do this automatically. It's not my fault. I was born this way. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
So Nick last night gave me a reading, and amongst other things, he got spot on about me. I'm not too sure about this when he called me a fae.
Exactly what part are you not sure about? I mean that seriously. Do you know who you are? I mean, you're Aunt Donna. I mean, a force of nature. I mean, seriously.
Those are the words he used last night too.
We're not
I-
blind.
I can see you totally giving off, Queen Maeve energies when pushed beyond a certain limit.
Or just when she feels like having a good time.
Oh.
Actually, I can totally see you giving off Galadriel energy from
Hobbit.
was it Fellowship, or no, it was Fellowship that she gave them the gifts and stuff like that,
Yeah.
where men will worship me. I
Yeah. When she was tempted by the ring. Yes.
Yeah.
When Frodo offered the ring to her because he felt she was the safest person he'd ever met to take this burden off his shoulders. Or out from around the chain on his neck, to be more accurate. And yeah, thankfully she passed the test.
Can't say I would have.
You never know until the test comes up.
Yeah, but just think what I could do with that.
In place of Dark Lord, you would have a queen, not dark, but beautiful and terrible as the dawn, treacherous as the seas, stronger than the foundations of the earth.
Yeah.
That fits, Donna. Yeah. I don't know about treacherous, but
It depends on which side of me you're on.
And that's the thing about beauty, infatuation, and love, and not knowing where you stand, whether you're infatuated or whether you're in love, is very treacherous footing, no matter what. That's how I always fathomed it in my own mind.
Let's just say 3 of you are safe. Because I'm pretty sure y'all never going to get on my bad side.
I choose life.
But
hopefully I don't suffer a dramatic brain injury that causes me to be completely freaking stupid.
he did say, and yeah, I'll say I don't give a whatever. But he says it's not that I don't, it's just that I choose.
you choose.
And when
not
I
to.
do, people better watch out.
That's one reason why I was so upset that the headset went dead on me. Because I wanted to see what it had to say about me. No ego involved, except my very large one.
He's a very, very good observer.
Yes.
And possibly even better than most of us because he does have a special needs child who's had to learn to communicate with that special needs, and so we observe him a little better.
Also,
and this is expanded
with what he used to do for a living when I first met him, dealing with adults with the same kind of developmental disability that could cause serious harm and death, and having to be able to navigate that, it became a survival skill. But also, growing up in the household that he grew up in. Um,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
it's he had to learn that situational awareness very, very early on.
Oh yeah. I I had to learn that one myself, but I was in my teens before it became necessary, and now I don't know how to turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that it would be a good idea because I'm extremely safe, but I'm hyper aware all the time, and that's tiring.
Yes.
Hmm.
Mm. Oh,
And it's so much fun when you're in a crowded place.
yeah. Yeah.
Like
Oh, I
the
feel like
like
I feel like a gazin. I feel like a gazin on a sidewalk. The claws keep wanting to come out, but I ain't got none because it's the wrong biology. Um,
That's when a good left hook comes in handy.
oh, I tell you, Christmas shopping for me is a real torture. Having to be in a crowded store with a bunch of people that don't care if you live, breathe, eat shit, or die, as long as they get their hands on whatever it is they want before you ever find it.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to go anywhere on Black Friday, especially if I'm with Misty, my kids, or my grandkids.
Now, see, back when I was celebrating Christmas, I always had everything bought by Thanksgiving, bought or
mm,
made, depending on who it was going to. Because even back, well, for one thing, I worked for a florist as book, accounts receivable bookkeeper.
I'm sorry, Donna. I'm sorry, Donna. But every time that you talk about the florist shop, I keep going. Why the hell wasn't their name Florist Gump? Seriously,
Because they were a
they treated you
florist.
like shit.
No, that was after SCI took over.
They were dumb as rocks. I swear. You did
Yeah,
so much, and they refused to recognize any of it.
or like I say, that was my original bosses were gone by then. And that was the temporary manager who and still thinks that I'm his friend to this day. A friend's father died, and we went to the visitation. And I look over in the corner, and there's this guy. He's got his own funeral chapel now, and he saw me, and this big grin comes over his face, and he starts to walk toward me. And I just turned around and walked out the door because if that man had spoken to me, I don't care that we were in a church, I probably would have decked him. And yes, it's been 35 years, and I just don't want to have anything to do with him.
I have people from my past that I would have a similar reaction to. I'm very glad that I don't stand a big chance of ever running into them again. And most of the rest of them have shuffled off this mortal coil,
Hmm.
thankfully, so that I do stand a fair chance of remaining out of prison for the rest of my life. But it could happen.
Oh, and like Carl and I were talking later, he probably has no idea why I don't want to speak to him.
No, yeah,
And like,
that's the thing. People with that sort of attitude have the necessary level of the wrong sort of ego to not be able to recognize that when somebody wants to avoid them, it's for a justifiable reason.
hmm
Ah, and the world is full of such people, and some of them you have absolutely nothing against because you've never encountered them in your life. And if you're lucky, you never will. Otherwise, they will give you a reason to avoid them. Yes, I'm so young to be this cynical. Um, there we go. And now Nick's going to pop in and say, "Oh no, I've read the biography. I know what you're like." Um,
Sorry if I seem a little distracted. I'm still screwing with Kiri. I may or may not have sent more coin.
And what are you doing? Why are you doing to this poor kid?
So they're doing a subathon, and they were doing started off as I think it's supposed to be a 48-hour live stream.
and the last thing I saw many hours ago was 51, and it's still going.
He's at 56 plus, and I keep waiting for the timer to get down to like the last minute or two, and then send another 100 bits to up it a little bit.
Joe,
I'm only slightly evil.
You're my kind of evil. It's this is the
But here,
Loki without harmful intent sort of evil.
but here's the thing: it's more psychological because the little bit I'm sending is only adding a very little bit of time. If somebody follows or subscribes to their channel, it adds like a half hour on. I'm only adding like a minute, 5 minutes, something like that.
What was it? What was the torture about? One drop of water every so often. Yes, there was an entire culture that worked that out to a fine art. And I believe Ming the Merciless was descended from them indirectly. Not that I believe in racial stereotypes or that sort of thing, but alien culture's got to be, alien. But still, the cognates to understand it have to come from somewhere in common ground. Oh, that actually sounded like I'm educated. I've got to stop that shit. I'm using too many 4-bit words here.
I might have just added 5 more minutes.
Oh,
and Rich, you just added half an hour.
Oh, when they grow up, they're going to whoop your ass. I tell you. You better be glad that Kiri is very young. Then again, you probably should be frightened that Kiri is very young. One of these days, you're going to be walking through a parking lot. He's going to go, "Hey, 5 minutes?" And you're going to turn around and go, "Oh, shit." And it's not going to be a John Wick moment unless Kiri is the John Wick. I do really enjoy their company, though. Fascinating person. Good conversations. Don't have a lot of interests in common, but there's this age difference, so that's not unusual.
Yeah.
I'd call it Tom Jones syndrome, but somebody's already taken that one. One of these days, I'm going to have a long talk with Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. Warped my mind.
Oh,
And to top it off, Joe, it was the free Prime subscription that I did too.
so
I get to subscribe to one stream once a month for free with Prime.
So this is what I did earlier today.
The extra wide pedal?
Yeah. If I have to stir it, it's homemade.
I like that.
Please, don't prompt me to wake up my wife. She's been in bed for the last 2 hours. She needs her sleep. She's got to get up in the morning and go to church.
Joe, how much for one of those?
I was planning on selling that for $35.
All right. I'm thinking I might have to buy that for Misty. When we first met, that was her idea of cooking, was popping something into the freezer or popping something in the oven from the freezer, or like a hamburger helper box meal type thing. So that perfectly fit in. If I have to stir it, it's homemade.
Makes sense to me.
Now she is a much more creative cook. I've helped expand her confidence on that level. Together, we are a phenomenal team. Because she just doesn't trust her taste buds. But she grew up to listening to my father-in-law bitch at my mother-in-law for my mother-in-law's cooking. So
that ain't right.
My father only complained about my mother's cooking once. My mom's sister had open heart surgery and was staying with us. And we were at supper. And Mom had fixed one of those, I think it was California mixed vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You can work wonders with those.
It was summertime, so we had sliced tomatoes on the table too, naturally. And she and Aunt Lois were talking back and forth, and Dad was looking at this mixed vegetables, and he's like, "That's not mixed vegetables. Mixed vegetables has tomatoes in it." Blah, 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 blah. And finally, she just took a fork, picked up a slice of tomato, and slapped it on top of those vegetables and says, "There's your damned mixed vegetables." Turned back around and continued the conversation. And I'm sitting there thinking, that's the way I got to do it from now on. You just strike out, and then you continue what you're doing about.
Way to set a good example for the children. Yes, indeed.
Someone else just subscribed to Kiri too.
Oh no!
For 2 years.
Wasn't me.
So Kiri's up to an hour, over an hour's worth of.
Oh no!
Hour and 3 minutes now.
Now, what is this? What is this he's doing, and how are you making it longer? I don't understand.
So, what a lot of these streamers tend to do is they'll do what they call subathon, where the whole goal is essentially try and keep them awake as long as possible.
You're basically paying to be a dick to them.
Yeah.
And basically force them to be on the stream longer or whatever, but it gets more subscriptions for them. So basically they've got a higher number of people that are quote unquote viewers on their channel and stuff like that. So it will actually help their revenue from Twitch. So it's a sorry, not sorry kind of a thing. But so it's people are paying for subscriptions and stuff like that. Now, again, it's Prime pays for one subscription for me a month for whatever channel I want to decide to go on to, because I'm a Prime subscriber. So it's just fun, goofy stuff like that. So,
I found out years ago that when I was much younger, my absolute limit was about 68 hours without sleep. And by that time, I was highly entertaining.
72 hours without chemical intervention.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, other than coffee.
With
I mean,
with Vibrant, it was 8.5 days. And then I crashed hard and I slept for like 3.
I can well believe.
And
No, this was I had worked a 12-hour shift, and um it was night shift. Got home, there was something I had to do, couldn't go to bed. Um Took my wife and kids out to I'd started to say dinner, but it was actually breakfast, I do believe, and just kept on going and kept on going and kept on going. And finally it got to the point to where uh I was not sure what day it was, but I was channeling some sort of combination of George Carlin and Frank Zappa at the same time.
I was young and single. I was in my early 20s. I was working overnights, placing groceries on the shelf.
Oh
I am
yeah,
so tired. I do not guarantee I can pronounce the actual title without sounding like I was attempting to be a Richard Ramirez knockoff.
yes,
So
a shelf stocker. That was my second wife's job.
an overnight
at
stalker
Ingles.
of shelves. Yes.
Yes.
And then during the day, my best friend would be like, "Oh, hey, let's do blah blah blah." All right, and then get home, start climbing into bed. The alarm goes off. Climb into the shower, eat, and then head off to work. By the middle of the week, I was on 3 boxes of Vibrant a day. You're not supposed to take more than 4 pills a day. There's 24 pills in a box. I was, of course, so 1 box is 3 times how many you're supposed to. So I was taking 9 times the amount you were supposed to and be able to not have your heart explode. By the time Rocky Horror rolled around that next, that the end of the week that week, oh, everything was so funny. And I might have actually hit on people. And I'm not quite sure all of them were women.
You're not quite sure all of them weren't fire plugs. Seriously,
I might have solicited a stop sign or a fire hydrant or two. There's no proof. I made sure of that. But that was also the week that we ended up playing Spin the Bottle after the show, and that was a very interesting Spin the Bottle. We'll leave it at that.
I don't know about the bottle, but I'm willing to bet the walls were kind of doing a Watusi there too.
Oh yes, it's about middle of the day Sunday next. That following Sunday, I was starting to see stuff, and that's when I passed out for like 3 days straight.
Probably a good thing.
Oh yes.
No, and that kind of thing makes me glad that I am so far beyond the age where I could physically do that again. I mean, seriously, I sit in a chair, and if I'm not excited about something and very, very interested, snores happen very click quickly. I mean, this. I get home from work. I sit down. I start reading my email, and
That
luckily, I
was
wake up
me
in
a
time for
lot
the
today.
show. Yeah. Well, um, I see it as a parallel of my dad coming home from work, sitting in the lazy boy, watching the news, and he's snoring. But somebody get up and try and change it. Hey, I was watching that.
All right.
And going, that dad radar is one of the most insidious things.
So one time, similar thing happened with Dad. Dad was passed out in his lazy boy. Just right after dinner, he went ahead and passed out. And Mom and I are sitting there talking, normal voices. It's she's trying to wake him up to go to bed at the end of the night. So he can actually sleep in his bed before going to go to work the next morning. And she's like, Dick, God damn it, Dick, get up! Yelling, can't wake him up to save her life. She's like, screw it. Except she said the F word. And just started off to the bedroom. I'm sitting there trying to quietly walk up the steps. I get to like the third step from the top. Stay away from the TV. I'm still watching that. Dad, I'm nowhere near the TV. I'm going to bed. It's 9:00. Oh, I guess I should get up and go to bed. Yes, Dad, you should. Another funny story with my dad, going back to talking about weird cooking things and complaining. So my mom was working a lot of hours at one point in time, so my eldest sister had to go ahead and help prepare dinner. So one time she was told to make a meatloaf, and for the spices, just go through the spice cabinet and just put a little bit of everything in. My sister did exactly as was instructed, including poultry seasoning,
Cinnamon.
pumpkin spice seasoning, whole 9 yards. Dad's sitting there and just shoveling in. Mom took one bite and she's like, how can you eat this shit? Looking at my dad. He's like, I've gotten used to it. My eldest sister is now an excellent cook, but back then she could burn ice cubes. There was another time that she tried to make a pizza crust, and she basically ended up making it with pancake batter.
Oh.
Well. So one last entertaining story about my father, at least for the moment. I've told this story before, but I love it so much. It's one of my favorite stories of Dad. It was a Saturday, because Dad didn't have to work the next day. So Dad was, after a hard day of playing and skiing and boating and drinking and everything and swimming and everything, he was just dead passed out, tired, and he fell asleep on the couch while Mom and I were watching a horror movie. I'm guessing it's a horror movie, at least, because that's normally what Mom and I watch together. She's the one that instilled my love of the macabre and Stephen King and all that weird stuff. So, but we're sitting there, and so you've got the couch, you've got a small gap, you've got the coffee table, and then you've got an antique rocking chair that my mother personally restored herself. Tore everything down, sanded everything down, restained everything, reupholstered everything, reassembled everything. Mom did it hands-on by herself. So we're sitting there talking, and then all of a sudden Dad just sits bolt upright on the couch, leaps over the coffee table like a fucking gazelle, drops trowel, sits in my mom's rocking chair, and just starts grunting. And my mom's like, Dick, Dick, you son of a bitch! Dick, you better not shit in my grandmother's rocking chair! Dick, I'll fucking kill you! Shut up, I'm trying to shit. I know you're in my grandmother's rocking chair! Finally, she gets him to wake up. Finally, she gets him to get up and walk into the bathroom to take care of business. I believe she did throw away the pillow that was sitting on top of the bottom, because I believe my father did end up getting a skid mark on it. Saw things that day I never wanted to see again.
Never wanted to see the first time, for that damn matter.
Yeah,
So here's a good cooking one for
and
you.
Richie, I almost had to mop the bathroom because I was laughing so hard. I mean, yes. If anybody ever casts aspersions on your storytelling ability, I will smack them upside the head. I swear.
Well, here's the thing. That one will probably be live told at Hallowcon as well, because again, that's one of my favorite stories to tell about my dad.
No, it wasn't your dad with the rocking chair. It was the one before that. When I first got in the bathroom, I'm going, okay, let her rip. Oh, you unmentionable.
Okay.
Yes, I really need to
it's a
compile a
good
bunch of
thing
these.
that I have that much control over my bladder and my knees. I mean, seriously, if I'd have wobbled 1 extra centimeter, I'd still be in there mopping the floor.
I really do need to assemble a lot of these into, an act and just workshop it around a few comedy places just to tick that thing off my bucket list of do a live stand-up set. So, but God knows I'd be disgracing my parents.
You are mad, bad, and dangerous to know, and I love you for it.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
Sorry, what was that, Donna?
I asked Joe what he was going to say.
Oh, so for a funny cooking story, and I'm going to get haunted for telling this now. Back when I was had to be second grade or earlier because we were still living in Valpo. And my grandmother had made pumpkin pie. And so we go out, we get a slice. My mom and I are sitting in the living room eating it, and the more we ate, the hotter it was getting. And we realized that we were going through a whole glass of milk before we even got halfway through this piece of pie. So my mom went out to the kitchen after we got done because it tasted just like her pumpkin pie, just with a little heat on it. And my mom goes, so what'd you put into the pumpkin pie this time? My grandmother goes, oh, the usual nutmeg and cinnamon and this and that. And my mom opens the spice cabinet, and sitting front and center is the cayenne pepper. And my mom pulls it out and goes, is this the cinnamon you used? Yeah, that's the cinnamon. Okay. She was eating it, didn't even notice the heat. Probably due to the beer she was drinking with it, but she wasn't noticing the heat.
Cleaned out the sinuses really well.
But that's when we also found out she had started to have macular degeneration and was losing the vision in the center of her eyesight. So when she looked at the bottle and she saw the C, she went, oh, okay, yeah, that's the cinnamon. Same kind of basic color. Mm-hmm. One slightly redder than the other, but
depends on how fresh the cinnamon was.
Yeah.
All right. True story. No shit, there I was. Um, I woke up after night shift, and my first wife had told my oldest daughter, "You cook Papa supper tonight." I walked in the kitchen, and my first wife says, "You got to see this. I've been saving it for you." Walk in the kitchen. There is a plate with a very, very, very charred chicken bone in the middle, and the plate was burned as well. And I go, "Okay, set the oven too high or something?" And she goes, "No, she did everything I told her to do. Set the oven on 200 degrees, put half a chicken in there on the pan, cook it for 2 hours, and turn it down when you hear everything start bubbling and crackling. Then take it out, let it cool, and that'll be your daddy's supper when he goes to work tonight." Unfortunately, what my first wife did not specify was to use the electric oven and not the microwave.
Oh no.
2 hours on high in the microwave, and we had to throw the plate away. How do you burn Chinette? I mean, seriously, this stuff, they make spaceship reentry shields out of it. How do you burn Chinette? Evidently, you put a piece of chicken on it, set it on high for 2 hours. Ah, the poor girl like to never live that down, and she is an excellent cook nowadays. I think
reminds
that
me.
was the impetus to get her to actually go, "Okay, I'm going to buy a cookbook and I'm going to learn how to do this." And she's wonderful. But still, that was very cruel of her mother to save that example of misunderstanding and show it off like there was something wrong with the girl when it was just miscommunication.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to Mike Jimmy coming into the show. I saw him message the group.
Mm-hmm. You
'Cause
got
I
to
do
get his
have a-
coffee, and
I do have a question for him when he gets in here. But
pink.
hope,
Oh, sorry, wrong question.
but hopefully, by tomorrow, I will be submitting my mom's book to Amazon.
Mm.
Only thing that's left to do is write the description, and since my wife has actually read all the way through it, I'm having her write up the description of it.
Well, the man of the hour is here.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
You had a question. Go ahead.
So I know I said this last time we were showing a bunch of your inked work. I would like to do one of those as a wood burning and send it to you.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. Whatever you need, really.
Probably your address.
Yeah.
Just guessing. I mean, off the top of my head.
To Mike Jimmy, Netherlands.
Yeah, it'll get there.
To be fair, I am the only Mike Jimmy in the Netherlands, but
That might actually work then.
Hey, just make sure you include the zip code. That usually guarantees, no matter what the address is, If
Oh,
the
yeah.
zip code's right, they'll get it there somehow.
Yeah.
The problem is the Netherlands don't deliver on name anymore. We only deliver on address. So the name doesn't actually matter. You can put in Farizenens, you can put in Mike Jimmy, you can put in one of the names of my friends, the name of my girlfriend. Nobody cares because they don't look at the name tag at the word. I
Yeah.
literally just woke up.
They do that over here. That's why we're still getting mail for people who haven't owned this house for the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
they don't
come
care
on.
about names over here.
I'm getting mail for a World War One veteran with my name. That's not even supposed to be going to this address because he lived in Tennessee. You know, I don't know how they tracked me down just because we got the same name.
Ah, you
Um,
admitted it is you. You tracked you down. You said, I don't know how
Hmm.
they tracked me down.
Yeah.
You are immortal. So tell me, what is Duncan MacLeod really like?
Yeah. Just what I was thinking.
I wish he'd change his aftershave.
That's not what she said.
Well, high karate is kind of hard to find these days, but somehow or another, boy must have bought a lifetime supply, and for his lifetime.
Well, when you find something that you like to have a lot of it around.
For his lifetime, that's called buying the company.
And yes, Donna, that's why I keep getting married.
I had a friend over here who, when he announced his third marriage, I'm like, Mickey, again? And he says, yeah, I'm going to keep doing it till I do it right. The third wife was the wife who shot him. Not fatally, but. And he went
I
to
don't.
the ER clear over in Indiana because he didn't want anybody to know she'd shot him. And I'm like, Mickey, Danville's not that small, big a town. Yeah, we all know what happened.
Thankfully, I don't run quite that risk with Lindsay. But if it had been the first one, I might not be among you today. Lord knows she tried with less than lethal implements, but
Hey, Calvin.
no, the second one just tried to drink me to death. Party girl was party girl. Bless her soul.
Fair enough.
But I couldn't keep up. Not by a long shot. Now, Lindsay, I pretty much am going to be happy for the rest of my life because she's awesome.
That's where I look out with mist.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like you're panning for gold, and all of a sudden you find a 50-pound nugget,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't tell nobody about it till you got it registered. Seriously, when they're gold, and you don't look any further.
Well, as y'all know, I'm terrifically spoiled. But something come up about on the subject of divorce, and I'm like, I went from being single and making maybe 18,000 a year to what I have now. Y'all better think about it real hard, because technically you can't afford to divorce me.
Right back.
Yeah, that's right. Alimony is based on the lifestyle that you wish to become accustomed to down
Mhm.
here. Oh, and I don't believe that's ever going to come up. I really don't. I would be heartbroken and probably would not survive without the woman I love so much. Because it's okay. This is going to sound sappy, but it's like one day you look into finding the other half of your soul, and you know this is the one.
Yeah,
And
no.
no matter what, you just go, hey, no, I'm set for life. Sorry. Um,
And you luck
now,
out when your soul is that irregular design, and theirs just fits perfectly.
yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's other half by fit, not by weight or volume or
no, it's like
yeah,
Tetris. The
exactly.
patterns match. They're
Yeah,
just
no.
reversed.
Luce and I are completely the opposite. We just went, we don't want to play games. This is where our lives are at. We both have a job. We both have our lives. Whether you fit in or not, that is up to you.
Mm.
And now we're going to make it work.
Yeah, inside
Communication.
3 months of dating Misty, I'm like, I don't want to wake up not by her side ever again.
We're pretty much on that side too, but yeah, she's away for 2 weeks now, on a sailing ship. So I'm 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 not gonna hear anything until she's in France.
And then it's going to be, hello,
She went to France on
sailor.
purpose.
No, yeah, well, sadly, uh, no, she got called by an old friend of hers 2 months ago, going, "Hey, I got a 1+1 free deal on a 2 week sailing trip. Um, would you like to come along?" Um, and it's like, yeah, first come, first serve. So if you're the first person to fix your paperwork, then you're gonna come along. And she did. Um,
Awesome.
yeah, no, like from the Azores, so
Oh,
middle of
wow.
bumfuck nowhere in the Atlantic, for 2 weeks, going to France. And she arrived last Wednesday. She had a couple of wonderful days there. It's storming now, so they might still not have departed. They might just depart on Monday. And then they're going to be sailing for 2 weeks, give or take. And yeah, so I
Well, I
miss
hope
her.
she has a wonderful time.
Yeah, she does from the looks of it. Yeah, I miss her, but like I'm working, I'm doing my thing. That was fun,
Hmm.
and I got you guys.
It's true.
Well, yeah, it's a consolation prize to be sure, but glad we work.
Yeah, really.
Talk- Speak for
I'm not
yourself,
sure.
Randy.
I
I'm
am
not
speaking
sure I
for
like
myself.
being regulated to a
I'm the only
lifetime
one that
supply
I
of
am
rice
speaking
roni
for.
or something here.
Yeah. I'm the only one I am speaking for as far as the consolation prize. Y'all are awesome. I'm the goofy ass one.
No, it
Oh no!
sucks. I don't mind.
I think we're all bozos on this bus.
Hmm.
Daniel,
I was a
Yes,
ton
dear.
at one time.
I
Right?
love you.
But evidently you're not fond of Fireside Theater.
Ah, call me a bozo.
About 2 decades ago, I would have resembled that remark.
I have a long reach.
The U.S. doesn't have Red Nose Day, so I think we're all safe.
Yeah, Donna, I think the thought that's going through Dan's mind is, how dare you threaten him with a good time?
Yeah, it would be the last one.
Whip me, beat me, make me write bad checks.
If you're going to go out in style.
That's all right. I'll just come back.
And what was your PIN number again?
BR
1, 2,
549.
3, 4, 5. That's the same PIN number on my luggage.
Oh,
And just think, Mike, Jimmy, here in about, 6 months, you get to witness this mayhem in person.
I know it's going to be insane.
You don't get to go, I think my internet is going out.
I'm in the Netherlands. Look, we are the guys that made the fucking pipeline from the United States to Europe and the rest of the world. My internet does not die.
You don't get to use that excuse then. You just got to suffer.
No, I never do. The only time that I can use that excuse is when I literally wake up and go, it is 3 a.m. and my internet provider is doing upkeep. Because they usually do it between 11 and 5 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. This time, no, it's going to work or it doesn't. And if it doesn't work, then there's a lot of people very angry.
I got to wonder, how many people are awake at 3 a.m. in the Netherlands?
Not that many.
But enough to complain?
No, but if the internet falls out during the day, then a lot of people are going to be complaining, and there is going to be a very quick fix.
Wow, that's something I never thought about before. How many people live in the Netherlands?
17 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so rush hour traffic in Atlanta.
Yeah, no. We are tiny. Like, legitimately, our country is not even a stamp. We get enlarged on the world map because we're invisible otherwise. We're that small.
You're the Rhode Island of Europe.
Yeah. Together with Belgium and Luxembourg. Like, it's that sad.
Technically, aren't both of those cities?
No.
They're counties.
No, Belgium is a country. They have their own kingdom.
Excuse me, my...
Yes, I know.
Poirot is from Belgium. He's not French.
Oui.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, a couple of others.
No,
Waffles.
Yeah, Belgian waffles. No, Belgium used to be part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. They became their own kingdom around 1800 or something. I don't bloody know. I don't care. And Luxembourg used to be a province of Germany and was like not anymore.
Sobered up real quick. Yeah.
Luxembourg and Liechtenstein both broke off.
Yeah.
They were more city-state.
Yeah, but Luxembourg is
like Illinois is hoping Chicago will do someday.
Yeah.
Just, it's
declare itself its own principality and move the away.
We could only hope.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, Luxembourg is tiny. Luxembourg has less than 1 million citizens. Holy crap. Yeah, no. The world map lies to you.
Oh, yeah. Especially the size that it draws the U.S. out to be the U.S. even though some of our states are larger than entire countries
Yeah.
in Europe, but
Mhm.
it still exaggerates the size of the United States compared to like
Yeah.
Africa and
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Um,
There was a British couple that did a reaction video about 2 weeks ago. They were going, there are 11 states in the U.S. that are actually larger in square miles than Great Britain entirely.
yeah. Texas
And
is almost the entirety of Europe. Oh, I
oh yeah,
approve of
yeah.
that, Joe. That is awesome.
that is
Oh,
beautiful.
that's just
Yeah.
the outline so far.
Yeah, I know. I figured, but I'm okay with that. That is so cool. So actually, let me show you guys. Because
Yeah, I did a side by side comparisons for some friends of mine in England one time, and
Oh, that's
evidently,
awesome.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
cool.
so
oh, oh, I hate.
Irene of Fiendish, her own comic, was doing these burned plagues as one of her perks. I think she ended up selling like 50, and I was like, hey, can you turn the main creature from Lavencora 4 into your monster version? And she's like, yes, I love it.
You once sent me a little purple stuffed animal critter about palm sized. It was all purple and fuzzy, had little black wings,
We
and
talked about this before, and no, I did not.
you didn't?
No,
No.
that wasn't me. We talked
I
about this
can't
before.
I can't
Uh,
figure out who sent it to me. Um, well, well, the dog thought it was a dog toy, and now the thing is has been glued together, and I've got it in a Ziploc baggie up way high so the dog can't get it at it ever again.
Yeah,
But
no, we talked about that before, like I
Mhm.
think 2 3 months ago, when you were like, "I am so sorry, the dog went after me," and I was like, "What are you talking about? I have no idea what's going on here." I'm like,
I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, I attached the name Fairies and Ints to it, and I I haven't the pain. Well, okay, maybe
Mhm.
maybe somebody just sent it to me at random.
I have no clue.
Oh, um, hey, I've had the same address for almost 30 years now, so could be anybody that I know on the internet. Could be just somebody delivered the wrong package by accident. I don't know. Sheesh.
I have no clue. It's really cool though.
It was cute. I wish the dog hadn't eaten it, but
Mhm.
at least I didn't have to follow him around looking for my weed or something like the Cheech and Chong tape. Uh, seriously.
Damn dog
Uh,
ate my stash. I had to follow him around for 3 days.
that's the one.
All right, now that it's 1 o'clock again for
Oh my God.
no, it's it's 1 o'clock again for Dan.
No,
It should be spring forward.
it's 3:04.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
It's spring forward, fall back.
Ah, crap, that's right. We
Mhm.
lose an hour tonight.
Yep.
Yep,
So
But for the
my-
last time.
wait,
for the last time what?
They
Are they really going through with it?
they allegedly passed the act that this is supposed to be the last time change.
this is very good to know because
So
mine is
it's going to stay 3 a.m. for the rest of my life. I could put up with that.
Well, not
Um,
3 a.m. for the rest of your life, but
Damn
and
it.
the clock just stopped. No,
Oh.
ours goes an hour forward in 2 weeks, so that's very good to know.
yeah, you guys are a week off of us for when the time changes were done. So
2 weeks actually.
Now-
well, yeah, 2
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks in the on both sides, or at least sorry, maybe it's England. That's or do you guys go at the same
really
time as
don't know.
England?
No, we're
'Cause I
not
know-
the same time as England. We are
Okay,
1 hour ahead still.
Well, no, I mean as far as moving with
Daylight
daylight savings.
savings.
Don't know.
Because they were, I think they were a week on one side and 2 weeks on the other. And the other trainer always had problems when we were doing all the UK training from Chicago. Because it's like it gets to that time, it's like no, it's actually at this time for them right now. Well, how can you keep track of that?
You don't.
Because that's part of our job.
It's in the computer.
Fair.
They make
Wait.
these great things called world clocks where we can set it for what time zone
I've
we
got
want.
it bookmarked. Yeah, world clock. Yeah.
Wave
Yeah,
from
say-
London.
Got it right here.
Yeah, one of our office admins for London would always send out an email saying time change for us is in blah blah blah. So I would just go, all right, good to know.
Yeah.
And it's they're usually 6 weeks or not 6 weeks. They're usually 6 hours ahead of us. For 2 weeks out of the year, they're like 5 ahead of us, and then for 1 week out of the year, there's 7 ahead of us.
Yeah.
Now, for the last 20 years, I have been saying, why don't they just set it half an hour, one way or the other, and leave it the fuck alone for the rest of existence?
Well, here's what I've always said. Why don't we just set one time for the entire fucking planet? If it's 11 o'clock in the Netherlands, it's 11 o'clock here. It's just our cycle for being awake is different than their schedule. But we'll know exactly what time it is anywhere in the goddamn world.
And here's my counter argument on why. Because if we were to do that, right, then you would not as easily be able to guess what time someone is awake during the day. If it's 3 a.m. for you guys, it's 9 a.m. for me, meaning that I will be always awake. You can send me an email and you will know that I will pick up the phone. But the other way around, I'm unsure, but I can be pretty certain you're not awake.
On the personal level, yeah, that I fully understand that. But on a business level, if you know their business hours, you're always knowing when to call to be inside someone's business hours.
True.
Instead of, okay, they're what time zone are they now? Texas. Is that central or is that, mountain or is that blah, 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 but and psychologically, I know it messes with people to be on that different. But I mean, for years, I've been like, there's no sense in daylight savings time in the U.S. because the lights that are on farm equipment far outshine daylight. They are brighter than daylight, at least in our area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
And it's like getting up at 6 o'clock. You're still getting up at 6 o'clock, no matter what. Oh, it's dark out. Turn the lights on. I understand it. Back in a time when we did not have electric lights on vehicles. Totally understand that.
Hi, Shelby.
Oh, the Shelby baby.
It's more that the cows want to be milked at a certain time because they're used to it than electric lights on the tractors. Yeah. You driving a tractor, it don't matter if it's day or night. If you got work to do, you got work to do. Cow wants to be milked when the cow wants to be milked. And they will be in pain if that time is not strictly adhered to.
But again, the schedule of your livestock.
Yeah, you have to. And believe it or not, daylight savings screws that up by an hour. The cow
That's
doesn't
good.
know it's daylight savings. It wants to be milked.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to the cow if it's 6 a.m. one day and 5 a.m. the next day.
The cat don't care if it's 5 or 6 p.m. She wants her wet food,
Uh-huh.
and she will not shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the line? Some Native American said this had to be made up by a white man only. Only a white man in government would
Oh,
think
it's
that
Mhm.
very.
cutting off 6 inches of a blanket
And then
off the
sewing it
top and sewing it
to
to
the
the bottom
bottom.
would make the blanket longer.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
still the same damn length blanket. You just got to go through more work to be able to stay warm. Um,
Oh, pretty baby.
All right, you going to jump down now? Or are you going to try to fall asleep on deck?
I actually like this, and I'm going to settle down, and you're going to be in a very awkward position. Cats, we know what we do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
uh-huh. And I am lucky that the dog is asleep with Lindsay in the bedroom behind two closed doors. Otherwise, I would have an 80-pound German Shepherd in my lap right now because she thinks she is a Chihuahua. Uh,
Small
We
dog in a big dog's body.
yeah.
mm-hmm.
We have had charcoal in now for 7 or 8 months. Last night I got the total acceptance of her. She had Carl brought me the cheddar and sour cream potato chips, which she loves, and she followed him in. Only instead of getting on my desk to beg, she got under my desk, and I didn't know she was there. And when I moved my foot, I kicked her. So I tried to make up by giving her some chips, and nope, she sat there with her back to me. The first time she's ever given me the back. And I'm like, oh, I'm accepted. And she cares enough now to give me the back.
Yeah, we were out watching History of the World Part 1 earlier today. And right between where Misty's chair and my chair is currently set up, we've got a little end table, and right in front of the end table is just a cheap little cardboard scratching thing from Walmart. That was like 15, 20 bucks or whatever. He likes to sit on there. He's finally started using it. About frickin' time. Stop using the wall. Anyways, but he was on that, and he'll come up and he'll nudge the arm of my chair with my hand sitting there to tell me, hey, Dad, it's time to give me scritchies. You're slacking. And then he'll start batting at my hand a little bit. Well, he wasn't paying attention. No, digging your claws in me is not going to get me to stop telling on you. And he balanced just wrong. And all of a sudden, it topples over to the side. And he's just looking at it like, you didn't see that. I'm like, dude, I saw it. He's like, shut up, you didn't see that. And
I
he's like,
meant
what
to
just
do
happened?
that. I'm going to
Yeah.
get behind the couch now. Fucking meow. Fucking meow.
We don't have a couch at this point in time yet. I
So where
have
does
to
he
find
keep his
strong bodies.
where does
Where
he
does
keep
he
his
keep his cat
physical
toys?
therapy stuff? Oh,
He
you've never heard that joke.
No,
No.
physical therapy is on camera at this moment. It's,
I think it was
Misty has little tiger statues that he hides behind under some of the other tables, and of course he likes watching cat TV.
I think it was Gallagher. Yeah, I think it was Gallagher who, on one of his TV specials, like, yeah, you'll see that cat fall down and walk away like, I'm fine, and then he'll disappear behind the couch where all his physical therapy stuff is. I gotta fix this. We had a wingback chair down in the living room, and they would play King of the Mountain on it. Well, the recliner in my bedroom was on its last legs, so we carried it out and brought the wingback chair up so I could sit it when I watched TV. And they were like, "Can't play King of the Mountain on the divan. It's not it's just not made right." So they'll come up to my bedroom and they'll start to play King of the Mountain, and if I'm in the room, they look at me like, I wasn't doing anything to your chair, Mom. Nope, nope. I'm just climbing it.
Nope. Around here, the look would mean, I think you're sitting in my chair.
Well, I was just walking by at the moment. The funny thing is, where the chair was in the living room, uh, it would be lunch and a show because we could be sitting there having lunch and they'd be playing King of the Mountain, and Calvin usually getting his butt whipped. You'd think he'd learn by now not to turn his back on his sister.
I learned that one when I was about 3. Sorry, Sharon. I love my sister. I really do. She's a fine, upstanding woman who can probably rip a linebacker in half and throw the pieces over her shoulders. And I'm a little bitty wimpy dude. So, no, my sister is one of the few people that the high school football coach actually asked, "Would you please try out for the football team? You're being wasted carrying the bass drum in the band." I mean, seriously, you get my sister on a football team, the guys are going to go, "I ain't getting near her. She'll kill me."
First week, my sister Brenda, my middle sister's freshman year, she beat up 4 senior varsity football players.
Yeah.
My sister Brenda was, we called them heads at the time. Basically, it's the 80s progression of the Greasers.
Mm.
You know, like to go out back, smoke pot, and that kind of stuff. The senior varsity quarterback was dating a freshman cheerleader. The freshman cheerleader made a smart-ass comment to my sister. My sister didn't take any bullshit. She went to go take care of business. The football player, tried to be all macho and step up. One hit. He was down. Later in the week, on 2 different occasions, 3 other players tried to beat up my sister for what happened. Mm-hmm. She whooped their ass too.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Now, what I've got to explain is that my brother and sister and I grew up on a farm. And I was usually the one tasked with driving the truck when we were gathering hay bales. And
so they were flinging them.
My sister was flinging 150-pound hay bales 8 feet in the air. At 14.
I don't miss those days.
and not breaking a sweat. I mean, seriously, the farm life is one of those things where you get used to what other people think is extraordinarily extreme amounts
Yeah.
of exercise, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just Tuesday, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think being a kid on the farm is why I'm so lazy today.
You already worked your ass off. You ain't got no reason to do anything else.
Yep,
Fair enough.
put in my time.
Oh. Yeah, there was a video that I saw somebody reacting to. Somebody had actually gotten a full size U.S. pickup truck and shipped it to England,
Mm-hmm.
and an Englishman was trying to drive it in normal situations.
Would that be a little bit big for their roads over there?
That was
That's-
the point. It was a little bit extremely huge for it. He made it look like
Their
this
moving
was
vans are
this
more
was a,
narrow.
yeah. He
Look,
made it look like this was a construction dump truck instead of a pickup truck. He exaggerated the difficulties of doing. Unless that thing's got that small a turning radius, there was no reason to do half of the 3-point turns he actually filmed. And he pulled into a drive-through in England in a car with the steering wheel on the
On the wrong
left-hand
side.
side, and then go, "Oh, I didn't think about that." And I'm going, "Well,
you
yeah,
totally
and
did.
you also parked 3 feet away from the window. Why don't you just get out and walk around?" Or you could have just parked in the parking lot and went in the restaurant instead of making it look like it was some huge trial. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he climbed across the seat and then hit the power window. I'm going, you
Climbed
lazy
across the
shit.
seat to get to the next county.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's in another postal code by that time. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going, if you want to make fun of US vehicles being huge, please, you don't have to go to this extreme. We know they're
No.
ridiculously large.
We
I
like
mean,
them that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Find them a 70s Impala. Send that over.
Oh no, this was a one of the options on a what the comments said was a normal truck in Texas. It was yeah, I believe it was a Dodge, but it had 1,000 horsepower.
That's
Would you,
cool.
and he was complaining he couldn't get it over 70 on the freeway, the one of the big motorways. I'm going, that's because you don't know how to put your foot down, you idiot. Um, it might be expensive. You might have to
Was
stop and
this an
fill up the gas
automatic
tank.
or was this a stick?
It looked like it was an automatic.
So here's my question. Is the gas maybe that much different to where our American engine may not have been combusting it properly?
No, the only thing different was that they measure theirs in uh,
Liters and not in
Liters
pound,
instead of
gallons.
gallons.
pounds per liters rather than dollars per gallon. And if I remember correctly, a liter is 2.2 gallons, or is it the other way around?
No. A gallon is like 3.7 liters,
Oh,
something like that. Yeah, like it's
good Lord, their gas is expensive.
yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm paying well, I'm not because I don't drive yet, but diesel here is currently €1.62 per liter. So that would be around $7.50 for a gallon.
Ah, that's outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we don't have it here. That's the thing. We have to import it all.
Yeah.
The only thing we have is gas. We have a lot of earth gas, like natural gas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but because the provinces where you can actually mine it, besides the North Sea, are actually lived in, we don't want any sinkholes,
Yeah,
something Florida.
Yeah.
Florida. Yeah, no. There's
Indiana.
there's no oil and gas in Florida except for around old folks' homes. Um,
No,
I was
but
gonna
there
say
are
we do
certainly
have.
sinkholes.
Where does Joe Dog live again? Because I think that's a natural gas resource too, depending on if it's Taco Bell night.
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. The
Yeah.
only the
Oh
only
God, I hope
state
Joe Dog
in the
doesn't watch this.
U.S. that built a nuclear power plant on an earthquake fault line.
Nothing could go
Japan
wrong with
called,
that.
they went the fuck.
No, and thankfully, people in Tennessee are in that area are much better educated than one would think from the stereotypes of being living in the Smoky
Mhm.
Mountain area. And they go, "You want us to do what? Where? Okay, you know that 7% safety thing that we usually do? We're going to move the decimal point. It's going to be 70%.
Mhm.
And while you're not looking, we're going to move it another space and make it 700% because this is nuclear. We're not taking no chances.
Nope.
Um, Oak Ridge
Just
might be where they refine the uranium for nuclear weapons, but we don't want anything to happen to our kids in our backyard. So
Mhm.
we understand the risks. And
just had a fun idea.
Oh no.
Coming in the con, dressed up in full hazmat gear. See Joe Dog's like, it's not time to cosplay anything yet. No, I was just afraid you had Taco Bell, sir.
Going with a Geiger counter.
Ha!
Mhm.
unfortunately, it'd probably be more like a giggle counter.
Why are the seals in my suit melting?
Joe Dog just walked by.
It was Dollar Chalupa night. Oh God, we're gonna die.
How high does this thing go? 1.5. It's at 1.5.
Oh, shit.
Wait, folks. You don't have to eat at Taco Bell. Megan's outside at Grillzilla. Believe me, if you, and I know you have not, but when Megan cooks, people sit there and wait patiently and go, this is going to be awesome. And they underestimate how awesome it's going to be because Megan is that good. Now, I'm very sorry, Donna, that your blood sugar bottomed out and you had to go get emergency food instead of sitting there and waiting on whatever dinner time it was Joe Dog had set up that night. But
Well,
no,
and then they were running late because they were serving the guests first, the special guests first.
yeah, well, one
So
of the days,
they were going to be like, I think like 30 minutes later than they were said they were going to be anyway.
uh, what,
That's okay. Like I say, now that we're aware of the time schedule, we've got it taken care of.
well, and one of these days, we'll all be at the big boys table instead of just the invited guests. And then again, you know, we have so much fun just being us. We don't need the special treatment.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Now,
And
Lucy and I will take care
I
of
go, I
the.
go out and talk to Megan while she's cooking, and um, I thought I might not be able to do that when Lindsay went with me, but Lindsay goes, "It's okay. Yeah, she's a good cook. Go talk to her. Sweet talker. I mean, seriously, get me some of that steak now. Don't know if I can do that, dear, but I'll be right back."
Let's see. Okay, so I gotta take care of my Hallowcon badge still, but I still gotta get our plane tickets as well.
Mm, I'm sorry, that's going to set you back a ways because it's
It,
oh
yeah, no. We knew
back
this.
back in 2010 when we had to go over to England, it was like $1,000 a piece for round trip tickets,
Let's see.
and I hesitate to think what it would be now because
Um,
prices probably have gone up quite a bit. So
yeah, they have. Oh, they went down a little bit again. Because that's the thing. I do keep it in check. Let's see. All filters. No, I don't need economy. I'm a premium economy. And yeah, like it's about 2,300 euros in total, like for the two of us. But we need premium economy because Luz is tall too. Um,
that's going to be fascinating.
yeah, I'm so sorry, guys, but she is up to my chin.
And you're what, 7'2"?
7, 8,
7'8"?
6, 6, 8. I walked right into that one. Yeah,
No,
because
no. What's really funny is in the Comet Impact story that I wrote, one of the main characters fell absolutely head over heels with a lady who was a flight surgeon for the CIA, and the reason he fell, one of the reasons he fell head over heels for her was that he was about 6'4" or thereabouts, and she was eye level with him. He had never met a woman that beautiful that was exactly as tall as him and exactly as tough and exactly as smart and exactly as capable. And he's going, "Oh, I'm in love."
yeah, no,
Unfortunately,
like
unfortunately, the series creator wouldn't let it be a happy romance and had to break it up after I put them together. But I'm going, hey, I didn't write that part. Mm-mm. No, no, they were going to be happily ever after with mine. You want to change it? You created the series. I just wrote the
yeah,
story. So
yeah, no. Luz does not understand this, but she has about 2 acres of forest behind their house. Like it's a
mhm,
Dutch thing where there's areas where you would be able to chop wood communally, and this is set in the contract. Like that space is woodland for that purpose.
mhm.
So she comes out in full um, lumberjack gear, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. That that works. That I'm a okay with this. I'll see you tonight, sweetheart.
She's a
Like, and
lumberjack and
she looks
she's
at me from,
okay.
and she's like, I look as manly as it can get. I do not feel like a woman right now, and this works for you. I'm like, yeah, no, like you're capable. You know exactly what you're doing. I'm here. I'm here for it.
As I said earlier, she's a lumberjack and she's okay. Oh, yes, I know. I'm going to hell, but I'll know everybody, so shut up.
I say you'll be amongst friends. It's okay.
Exactly. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I get to drive the boat, right?
Yeah.
Remember, Hitler and I, it's 8 o'clock.
Oh wow, we've already gone an hour and a half here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. I'm having too much fun to be this close to having to shut the damn thing down. Of course, now we've got Carl's approval to run for 2 or 3 days at a time.
After what he did last night.
Hey, Richie helped. He was
Yeah.
the miscreant wasn't alone.
And I'm the innocent one of the group.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't think that badge is ever going to stick.
There needed to be a hashtag about we're able to keep Carl up for X number of hours or whatever. I don't remember because I had sleep not long, but I have slept since then. I had a couple
I can just imagine the phrasing of that hashtag. Yes. Something on the order of this show kept Carl up for 6 hours without the little blue pill.
something along those lines.
He's going to kill me tomorrow. But I'll die laughing.
Carl was allegedly going to scribble that down, so
Yeah.
Oh heavens!
but it was a good conversation.
Well, yeah, and that's going to be the neat thing about Hallowcon is we'll all be there live and going, oh my God, I'm sleepy and I hate it, but I want to stay up and talk to y'all for the rest of my life.
Yeah, Luz already knows that she's going to lose me for the weekend.
Hey, bring her. I mean, you're already bringing her along.
I'm bringing her over, but she's going to be like, yeah, I've got a day, and then I'm going to look at a library or something. That's what she does. She's a certified book nerd, okay?
I'm not sure that Dalton has a library. She'll have to bring her own.
I can't say anything because before Google, we used to go down to visit my folks in Florida every year when we were first married. And I was Google Maps before Google Maps. I had where the restaurants we wanted to eat was, where the cigar store was, where the book shops, a lot of times used book shops were. So, I kept a map on these so that we know where to stop on the way down and the way back.
Well, I know where the places with acceptable breakfast menus are, and I know where the Kroger is, and I know where the liquor store is. But that one's easy because it's right at the bottom of the hill from the hotel.
I was going to say everything's at the bottom of the hill from the...
Yeah, I mean, look, Ma, I'm on the top of the world. No, you're just at the hotel. Yeah, but I'm still on top of the world.
Yeah, because there's the Waffle House and there's a Wendy's and
Basically,
there's a liquor store.
If I walk out to the edge of the parking lot, I can damn near see my house. It's that tall.
Very steep.
Yeah, that's the one thing Thankfully, so far there hasn't been a snowfall when I had to pull up that driveway. Because even though the van's front wheel drive, it goes around the corner and starts up that driveway, and I go, this is going to take all 278 horsepower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our van started up that drive and looked up that drive and went, "You want me to take you up there?" Yes, do it.
We're going to have to go back down to the gas station. You're going to have to get me some ethyl.
Speaking of snowfall, I forgot we were supposed to get some tonight. So I was a little shocked walking out of Hard Rock Casino and looking around going, why is there extreme amount of dandruff falling from the sky?
Mm. Just keep it up there, y'all. You can have my share.
And mine. Thank you.
No. My mama taught me to share.
That's okay. You don't have to be generous.
Oh, but I do. I do.
And I definitely don't need seconds. We got flowers blooming down here. Leave us alone.
When my folks went to Florida, when I was single, they refused to leave until after Christmas Day because they didn't want me being alone at Christmas. Not understanding that after 20, 25, 26 days of working in a retail shop, all I wanted on Christmas Day was to be left the hell alone.
Hey, I can completely understand that. You have had your fill of people at that point.
Well, I go in at 6 o'clock in the morning. Shop opened at 8. Then I try to do my bookkeeping and stuff. Shop opened at 8. I was the one who had to check credit cards, and back then we had those little booklets that you had to look through.
Uh-huh.
I was the one who called the Teleflora and the FTD things out. I was the ones who's like, yeah, they can charge. No, he can't charge until 5 o'clock. And then from 5 till 2 in the morning, this was before computers, honey. All those bills had to be done, typed by hand. Yeah, from Thanksgiving to the day before Christmas. Christmas Day, leave me alone. But no, the folks wouldn't go. So Carl and I get married the Saturday after Thanksgiving. They leave the next Monday because now I won't be alone. What they don't understand is that Carl used to work in retail 2 years before that. And he was pretty much the same as I on Christmas Day. Just leave me the heck alone.
Yeah.
So they go down from December, and they started coming home in March, but every time they came home, it would snow. So they decided they'd stay till April. And they came home in April, and it snowed. So they decided they'd come home in May, after Mother's Day. Because it's not going to snow after Mother's Day in May, is it? It didn't matter. Whenever they came home, I said, don't you dare come home in June. It's bad enough we had snow here in May, but you are coming home before May from now on, so we can get this crap over with, and I don't have to worry about snow in June.
I believe I would have just said, why don't y'all just stay in Florida? Don't come back. You bring snow. Don't come back.
Freaking grandkids. My brothers had to give them grandkids.
Well, don't bring the grandkids either. Just keep them in Florida. There are wildlife parks that you can put them in. They'll be up behind chain link fences. They'll be safe from everything except the alligators that can climb chain link fences. No,
Oh,
seriously,
buy
I
the kid a ticket, tape
have
a
actually
$20 bill to his
seen
collar.
a 6-foot alligator climb an 8-foot chain link fence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, not surprised.
I mean, seriously, if you stop and think about it, dinosaurs must have been pretty adaptable because they survived for a long time.
Oh, they turned into chickens, so yeah.
Well, no, the alligators, while not being dinosaurs strictly,
Per
but
se, yeah.
reptiles, but they are from the same era of
Oh yeah.
biological development. They got to be
Oh.
adaptable too. So, wouldn't surprise me a bit to see one try and use an elevator. I'd just go,
Arms are too short.
Disney's looking for your ass, ain't they?
Why can't you get him? Big head, thin arms.
Wally Gator.
And yet they can move so fast
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
on those little short legs. Kind of like my mama. I mean,
if you're looking at the propensionids, those are nasty little bastards.
Is that the one with the big frill that runs until they can use the frill as a wing and stand on their hind legs and still run?
No, those are the ones about the size of a chihuahua.
Yeah, those are the ones that scare me. Anything the size of a chihuahua with more teeth scares the crap out of me. I don't care what species it happens to be.
Size of a chihuahua and pack tactics. That's no.
Thankfully, it tastes just like chicken.
ooh, gator's good.
A little bit of barbecue sauce. A good barbecue sauce covers a multitude of sins, as I once said in a serial killer
That
chat room.
really explains so much now that I think about it. They say gator tastes like chicken, snake tastes like chicken. Well, they're all descended from dinosaurs of various flavors, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
About right.
You don't need barbecue sauce on a good piece of fried gator.
Your Angus cow is going to taste the same as your dairy cow for the most part. I mean, different fat profiles and stuff like that are going to build up a different flavor, but beef tastes similar to beef.
Yep. Buffalo, bison. Oh God, there's somebody in Europe that's trying to breed cows together to get aurochs again. We're talking a cow the size of a double-decker bus.
Yeah.
With horns. Seriously, did you not think about this?
Can feed a hell of a lot more people.
Yeah. Could trample a hell of a lot more people. I mean, there's a reason we hunted them in groups. Us as the group, not the cow.
Well, let them loose in Russia and, problem solved.
That's so crazy it might just work.
As Professor What's-It from Jurassic Park said, just because we can doesn't mean we should.
But think of the fun if we do.
We ride to battle.
It
may not be fast on an oxen, but dear Lord, it will be fun.
I wish I would have had OBS up so I could actually fly up my, giddy up, sparkle farts. There's chaos to spread.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of the cohorts and armored cats riding armored dogs with little Scottish spore ends full of armored weasels that they can fling. And I'm going, oh my God, Disney has affected modern warfare. Get out of my head, get out of my head. No. I'm
Armored
screwed.
bears. Armored bears.
On cocaine.
With, with little pouches.
With chihuahuas.
Cocaine would probably help on this. No. So first thing you do is you send through small dogs that are spraying the scent of tuna and salmon and chicken everywhere. Then you have bears that are armored coming through that are flinging boxes that when the box lands, it breaks open and a armored cat that has not been fed for 3 days is within. Now Russian soldiers smell like tuna and salmon.
All you need is a laser pointer, and Russia is doomed.
Drone comes in with the laser pointers. The cat smells
Holy crap.
We are so evil. Yeah, I love it.
And
How to
this is
solve
why the
all
rest of the
the
country
world's
refuses
problems.
to ever mess with the USA ever again because they breed people that think of this shit.
Forget nuclear weapons. We got cats and laser pointers.
We have hungry cats and laser pointers.
And bears that really know how to undo a doorknob to be able to get to the refrigerator inside the cabin. And they haven't had a beer in 6 months, so they're ornery. Oh,
And for Mike's thinking, just remember the Netherlands are neutral.
No, we're not.
no, it's Sweden that's neutral.
We have
I
a nuclear
didn't say it
silo
was
from
true.
you guys.
I didn't say it was true. I said he was saying it.
We have a nuclear silo in the Netherlands from you guys. We're set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're gonna die, we are first.
And how old is that thing?
Like 40 years by
I
now.
was gonna say.
You might want to check the warranty.
I mean, I'm not going to check that warranty if you don't mind. I don't want to go straight to jail. Go walk in and go, can I check on your nuclear silos, please?
Yeah.
My buddy asked me to.
What's the half-life on this shit again? 50,000 years. Are you sure? How about the fuel? 5 years. Maybe we should check into the maintenance schedule. Shut up.
What's the code again? 8 times 0?
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, that's the same combination that's on my luggage.
That's why I like.
My mother's birthday, the 12th of March, 84.
That's why I like the really secure combination. BR549. If you haven't ever watched, oh God, now my brain has gone to complete blank. Hee-haw.
Yeah.
You would not.
Junior samples.
Junior Samples with the used car lot. It's called BR549. You would not get that one, but apparently, if you're old and senile, you won't get that one for very much longer either.
I
Can
had special
regenerate one of these
collections.
days, boy. Need
We
that
used to
booster
we used
spot.
to tease my father that Junior Samples was his long lost twin brother.
That's right, folks. We got them. You can buy them. Slap. Fender falls off. We can fix that in post production.
That is good to know.
I may have updated that joke too far.
I was going to think I don't remember him ever saying that.
Could you imagine someone having to do post production on Stupid O'Clock?
Damn it! You almost cost me a monitor and the keyboard.
Yeah, and you know what the best part is?
You're not even looking. Oh. Damn it! You killed Kenny. You bastards. Good kill, Fritz. Wait a minute. Crossing the streams. Breathe, Donna, breathe.
Well, I'm not going to be able to finish this last little bit in the 4 minutes that we have left, but
Oh,
that is what it looks like.
That is
it
awesome.
looks awesome.
I've got this last little segment back here to do, and
That looks amazing, man. Thank you so much. That is so cool.
whew,
That is really cool.
thank you.
Okay.
We're going to
Well-
quit in 4 minutes.
We have to end the show. We don't have to quit.
Good.
In other words, the audience doesn't have to go home, but they can't stay here. We, however, are in double secret probation, so we have to stay here.
I ain't going anywhere. It's snowing outside.
You can drive.
Yeah, I could
You
have
can
used
drive
that.
a plow, can't you?
I can. It's
I
whether
actually
or
could
not I
have
want
used that excuse yesterday. And dear Lord, I wish I had. Because, man, I was home late. Ugh.
Now, for our studio audience that is watching at home or watching later, God bless you. Please like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed any of this comic madness that we've come up with, because this is probably one of the more irreverent shows that you will find on YouTube, and we aim to keep it that way because there ain't nothing else we can do.
And if you'd like to monetize us, by all means.
Yeah, really, but I'm not going for commercials. I mean, I don't want commercials in this stuff. I don't want.
Just free money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't apply. Just throw money. Don't have a Patreon.
PayPal.me /
So, Donnie, you're going to
Whatever
tell
these
Carl
guys'
we went
names
to
are.
3 o'clock, right?
Hey, it's 3:58 here.
Oh, for us, it's only 1:58. In another
It's,
2 minutes, it'll be 3.
8:58.
8:58.
now.
Hey, there you go. There's the time we go for. And we don't have to say that we crossed the international date line twice the wrong way. That means it's Thursday. I've got to go to work in the morning. No, I don't. I don't.
It's Saturday.
I always used to mess with Misty. I still do, actually. She'd be like, "What time is it?" and then I'll calculate the time in like London and then give that time, and she'll freak out because she thinks she's late for work. I'm like, I mean, if you're in London, and she's like, will you stop that?
No, not ever.
No, not likely.
It's too much fun.
Although she got me today.
Oh, did she?
So, ran to the store to pick up some soda, and we're bringing it up, and I'm tired. I'm not feeling good. I stayed up way too late last night or this morning, with good conversation with good people, and Nick. Oh, kidding. I love you, Nick. I love you, Nick. Nick knows I consider him good people. Technically, I don't consider him people because I don't like people. But anyway, so
he's a good cryptid.
She's putting one of the 6 packs of Coca-Cola in the fridge. She's like, "Why did you buy Diet?" I'm like, "I did not." And I flipped out. I'm like, did I accidentally grab a Diet? Did they change the label? Because, bastards would do that. And she's like, "No, I got you." I'm like, "You son of a." So yeah, she sometimes gets a good one in. Have to give her credit where credit's due.
On that note, folks, we're going to call this one and tell the bedtime story. And it's only been 2 hours and a minute and a half, so we're on time and under budget.
Not doing bad.
Not very much longer. Don't expect us to ever do this again. We didn't do it on purpose this time. So everybody that wants to continue the conversation, stick around. And everybody that is watching the recording, sorry you missed what we're about to get up to.
Some
Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.